Well, good morning. Good morning, and welcome to Winners Win Live. I'm Chris Coakley, president of Five, and what's some incredible, exciting times we're in right now. We just finished up the first phase of the pre-launch, and now we're into phase two. The first phase was incredible. If you were on that call the other night, as we kind of recapped the first phase, over 1,000+ people on the call. That was exciting, incredible. Had some incredible leaders break into the top five during the pre-launch. Had some winners of our Bali contest announced, and so now there's a couple of new people that are packing and getting ready for Bali. And incredible. Let me tell you something. Bali's going to be an incredible trip, but it's so much better when somebody else is paying for it. And so congratulations again to those winners of Bali. We are picking up the tab for your trip to come hang out with us and have an incredible time. And then we're into phase two now, where a lot of the details have been released, and people now understand who we are as a company, our why, our motivation, what we're looking to do, the mark we're looking to make in the industry and in the country, and how they can help with that cause and build financial freedom for themselves and time freedom for their family, so they can not only help the world participate in healing nations, but they can make sure their family participates in healing nations. It always starts at home. And so now that a lot of the details have been released, it's decision time for a lot of people. Our pre-launch was about get in position. That's what it was about. And listen to me now, because this is training, and I have to be as candid with you as I possibly can. There may be some of you watching this that says, well, it wasn't explained to me as a pre-launch, or I didn't really understand what I was getting involved in, or I thought I was buying this or buying that. And I apologize if in any way, shape, or form someone misexplained what it was all about. But I know we tried in every chance that we got a chance to speak to explain to you it's about positioning. And I hope now that you see what you positioned for, that you're excited and you're enthusiastic. But you do have to now make a decision. You see, guys, the key to success, the first key to success is you have to believe in you. See, you have to make a decision that you're going to do it. See, that's in everything. It doesn't matter whether you're building a business or you're trying to win the lottery. The first thing you got to do is put some money on you. See, if you want to win the lottery, you got to get in line and give some money to buy. See, I promise you there's never been a person in the history of the lottery that's ever won that didn't buy the ticket. See, that didn't first say to themselves, I'm gonna win, and I'm so confident, here's my money. See, that's just in a lottery where you have no control over whether you win or not. You still are forced to make the decision that you're going to play, that you believe you're going to win. I don't play the lottery very often, but every now and then when it gets up to $400 or $500 million, I say to myself, what's $20? I'm going to go in and drop my $20. And guess what I start doing as soon as I do it? Thinking about how I'm going to spend the money. All the people I'm going to help, all the check, what I'm going to do. See, I don't need the money. I start thinking of all the things I could do with the money to help other people. And I'm already thinking, because I'm already feeling like I'm going to win. Now, so far, I've been wrong every single time, and I haven't won yet. But every time I decide I'm going to play, I got to make that decision. See, if you cook very well and decide you're going to open a restaurant, the first thing you got to do is you got to open a restaurant. You got to find a location. You got to either rent, lease, or buy that building and location. You've got to renovate it. You've got to furnish it. Then you've got to buy the supplies for the kitchen and the food and the napkins and the salt and pepper shakers for the tables and all the different things. And then you've got to hire people, promise to pay people a wage. And then you got to train those people. Everything I just mentioned is money you're spending based on the bet you're making on yourself that you can have a successful restaurant. And you got to do all of this before you ever open the doors and sell one piece of food, before you sell one burger. You got to commit. And it's a heck of a commitment. And statistically, most restaurants fail. So you're going against everything statistically that says you'll succeed. But if you believe in you, if you believe in your cooking, and if you believe you've got something unique or something special, you bet on it. So now it's decision time. You positioned yourself for $99 to be a part of something great. And I truly believe you're part of something great. See, we're a company that's finally going to change the way people think about vacation. See, I've been to 80 plus countries, probably somewhere around 86. And I found that almost every other country, even though poorer than the United States, has holiday, as they call it, part of their culture. See, at some point, they take time off from work to rejuvenate and to build with their family and to spend time with their relatives. Most countries, they call it holiday of some nature. But in America, we call it vacation, and it's something we look at for the rich and famous in most cases, unless you were raised in a culture of taking vacations. And that's how we find that, 700 plus million people don't use 700 plus million vacation days go unused. 153 million weeks, even though they're paid vacation weeks, which baffles me. If I'm getting paid to take 2 weeks off, I'd take it off even if I did nothing but sit on the porch. It's paid. People don't take it at all. They just keep working. And as a result, we work ourselves to death. As a result, we work hard hoping that we're going to retire one day, financially independent, and then we'll travel. But the problem is we work until we're in our 60s. Our life expectancy is in the 70s. And so from the time you retire to the time we die, there's only about 10 years in there. And most of us don't retire with enough money to do anything for that 10-year period of time. And that's assuming you live to full life expectancy. That's not guaranteed when you work yourself to death. And see, what does work yourself to death mean? Some people go, well, I don't work that hard. It's not about how physically hard you work. But if all you do is work and worry and stress, trying to pay bills, take care of your family and children, all these different things, that stress begins to kill you. That's the stress that begins to give you high blood pressure. That's the stress that contributes to the accumulation of that extra weight around the waist, which then adds to the diabetes and all the other things that happen as a result of you not taking care of yourself. Because you're so focused on working and working and working. Guys, it's a real issue. This is not a game. Travel is fun. It's sexy. It's incredible. You learn so much. Great food and cultures and languages all over the world. But the truth of the matter is if people don't start to experience vacation, if people don't start to take care of themselves, if people don't start to spend time creating memories with their families, what are you truly going to leave behind? What type of legacy are you really creating? And if people don't fight to become financially free, in a world that technology is so rampant that jobs are going to have to go away. They're creating machines to do humans' jobs at a record rate. So you got a window of time to build wealth. Now I say all that to say, and I don't want to go off the deep end, but I say all that to say that now that you're to be a part of a great mission to heal nations with vacations, but to own an incredible franchise-like business for less than the cost of a cell phone, with monthly overhead. In every business, there's not a business in America that doesn't have monthly overhead, but to have monthly overhead for less than the price of a data plan for a family of 4. Amounts of money you have gladly spent probably in the past for things a lot less valuable. But because you positioned yourself, that business that's $4.99, we're giving to you for the $99 that you spent to position yourself. And then as you activate your business and begin to pay your monthly expenses, we're also going to knock 3 months of credits off how long it takes for you to qualify for your rewards trip. So now instead of 12 months from now you're qualified to take a 7-day vacation, it's going to be more like 9 months from now you'll be able to take a 7-day vacation for you and your family. And what do you got to do to get that vacation? Just build your business. See, so I've heard some people say, well, I'm paying $99 a month, $100 a month for a vacation. No, you're paying $99 a month to build your business. Overhead for everything that we're giving you to go be successful and make money. That's not the cost of the rewards trip. It was $59.95 to join Surge monthly with no trip, just expenses. So the price has only gone up $40. And in that $40, we've given you way more than $40 worth of value, starting with the $10 residual. So if you took the $10 residual and added that to the $60 you would have already been paying with no trip, you're already at $70. There's only $30 left. And then we added a $2 residual, and then we added all kinds of tools, and we're adding all kinds of videos and all these things that we're adding to help you build your business. Honestly, guys, most of the $99 is not going towards the trip. So you're not paying $1,200 a year for a trip. The trip is a perk of being an owner. And if you stay focused and work on making money all year long, at the end of the year, you've got a trip and you've got money to go enjoy the trip. So if you're a person who joined during the pre-launch, I want to talk to you for a minute. You've got an opportunity to buy a business for $400 discount and get 3 months credit towards a 7-day rewards trip. And the ability to go make money with a consumer-facing booking engine called the Vortex, that every time you save people money, you make money. So you only make money if they save money. You make a percentage of the savings, which means unless you're helping people, you're not making money. You make money from saving people money. And how much do you think people want to save money? Only always, only all the time. And then you get access to our award-winning travel agents, where you get to learn how travel agents travel the world for pennies on a dollar, make a ton of money helping people realize their travel dreams. It's such a the business is so many facets. You could create a company and a company out of that. You could decide that I'm just going to specialize in wedding planning and become a destination wedding planner and help people to get married. I got a little niece that's getting married at Sandals in Jamaica in April. And so we're all flying to Jamaica for the wedding. That was her dream, wedding, to get married in Jamaica. And see, so many more people are choosing destination weddings. See, you could choose. See, you could choose that you're going to be a big game hunter, an Africa specialist, and just do tours to the Serengeti for hunters who want to hunt big game animals. If that's what you're into, you could decide that I'm going to be a golf vacation specialist. Or you could just help your family plan the next family reunion. So you have all those options in that business model to go make money. And then when it's time for you to personally travel, not only do you have a rewards trip coming at the end of the year, but you also got all the points from everyone who uses your Vortex goes into a vacation vault. And you can use those points to pay for your next vacation. And you go, Chris, but I've already got one coming free. So you're only going to take one vacation a year? Most companies give you 2 weeks. That's only 7 days. What are you going to do with the other 7 days? Well, if you build a successful business, you'll have enough points in your vacation vault to take those points out and buy another 7-day trip, which will be free to you because you used your points. You can't beat that. You have to pay for it upfront every year. But if you do decide there's some place on your bucket list you want to go or something elaborate you want to do, you've got our membership that allows you savings on everything from a cup of coffee to a trip around the world. And now everything you spend money on, you make sure you get the best price. You got all of that for $99. And your overhead to be in business is $99 a month. And yet some of you are probably like, well, should I do it? Shouldn't I do it? Hey, look, you got to bet on you. I know some of you are going, but $99 a month might be. Hey, you got to bet on you. You see, don't play games with yourself. The 90% of winning is a space between your two ears. If you don't believe you could make $99 here, why are you here? Why are you in business that you don't even believe you'll make 99 bucks? See, that's what you really got to ask yourself. If I don't believe I can make 99 bucks a month, what am I doing? See, it's decision time if you came in during pre. Phase 2 is supposed to be you building a network of people prepared to heal the nation with vacations. Not you sitting around wondering what you're going to do. See now, tip number 2 about success. It ain't ever about you. It's about what you're going to do for others. See, people that are successful, my mentor said it to me like this. He said it's because of the quality and quantity of service you provide to others. He didn't say it's what you go do for you, Chris. He said it's the quality and quantity of service that you provide to others. See, if you look at anything successful, put it through that ringer. Say, is it providing a service? A quality service? And to how many people? Then maybe that's why it's successful. And it doesn't matter whether it's something intense like, nuclear science or whether it's a Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is one of the most successful soft drink companies in the world. Why? They provide a soft drink that most people like, so they provide a quality service to how many people? Only billions of people in the world drink Coca-Cola. So they provide a quality product to billions of people, which makes them a very successful company. And you can put that test to anything successful. And you will find it's successful because, so you got to decide what is the way that you're going to provide quality and quantity to the masses. But first, you got to bet on you. You got to buy your lottery ticket. You got to activate your business. And you got to believe with everything in you that a minimum, guys, really? There's no way I would have ever gotten involved in any business that I didn't think I was going to make a ton of money. Forget about $99 a month. I remember when I first came in this industry, most of you know, I started with a company called A.L. Williams. It was life insurance and investments. I was 19. I had no wife, no kids. Nobody was dependent on my income but me. See, some of you right now are going, okay, Chris, I'm in, but why do I need, some of you that have been with us for a while are saying, why do I need to upgrade? Some of you are already platinum. You already own our top product. The only thing that's new to you may be the rewards trip. So you're saying, why should I pay more money? It's called leadership. First of all, you need to lock in that your family takes a vacation every year and that you can share that with people. But you also need to position yourself to lead. See, I was 19 and they said, okay, so you need to buy insurance if you're going to show people how to protect their income with insurance. And you need to invest for retirement. These are the two things you're going to be teaching people, and you got to start with you. And I was sitting there thinking, I'm 19. I don't have any family to protect. And the guy looked right at me and he said, do you plan to get married one day? And I said, yes. And he said, do you plan to have children one day? And I said, yes. And he said, well, the best time for you to buy insurance is when you're young and healthy. Will you be young forever? I said, no. And how long will you be healthy? And I said, I don't know. And he said, that's why you need to buy now. And I didn't have any money. I had to borrow the money to get started. I had no job. I was a college student, living in the dorms, eating off a meal card, part of my financial aid package. And they said, well, let's start you with $100 a month. We're going to take 50 of that and buy life insurance. $50 bought $1 million life insurance on a 19-year-old. So I had $1 million life insurance plan at 19. No. Now some of you go, that's crazy, you didn't need it. Well, I was taking care of my mom. If something would have happened, my mom would have got $1 million. My mom would have become a millionaire. And then I invested $50 a month into a mutual fund, very aggressive mutual fund, that if it had earned the rates that it was currently earning until my retirement age, I would have over $1 million at age 65. And I remember how empowered I felt, because at that point I realized whether I live or die, I'm definitely going to be a millionaire. See, I just locked in my millionaire status. See, if my mom gets millionaire, made my family a millionaire, took care of my mom. And if I live to be 65, I have $1 million in my mutual fund. Millionaire, retired with $1 million. All for $100 a month because somebody showed it to me at 19 years old. I remember I walked taller, my chest was stuck out, but most importantly, when I began to share with people that this is what they needed to do to take care of their family, I had such passion, I had such belief, because I had already bet on me. And when they would say, well, because everybody tries it from time to time, well, let me see what you have. I'd gladly pull out I had a little folder that I put it in and laminated it, and it had my insurance and then it had my statement from my mutual fund. And I'd pull it out and I'd show them, live or die, millionaire. And you could see the spouse look over at the husband and go, you need a live or die plan too. top leaders, top producers, top recruiters, top trainers. Because I believed in what I was doing. And the first person I bet on was me. And I knew when I did it, I had to make sure I made at least $100 to pay my insurance and automatic draft my mutual fund out of my account. But I never set a goal to make $100. See, I set a goal to make thousands. And so thousands I made month after month after month until I was financially free. I never remember worrying. See, that was going to get done. I focused on the thousands. So many of you right now that you're hesitating, you got to realize you're not hesitating whether you're going to buy something from us or whether you're hesitating on whether you believe in you. And that's the first hesitation you need to stop. And those of you that are in the company that say you want to build a business and be a leader and be financially free, you're hesitating on you. We're having a conversation about $99. And for some of you already in the company, we're having a conversation about $40 more when we're talking about taking over the world. And how big a piece of that you get is up to no one else but you. Our comp plan has been proven. We have a whole team of leaders who make six-figure incomes with our company. Some have done it in part-time, working their full-time job. So it's not a question of does it work? The question is, are you going to work it? And I'll show you this. If you don't believe in you, you won't succeed. See, I heard somebody say once, if you believe you can, or if you believe you can't, either way, you're right. Because it starts with your belief. That's what's going to determine your success. It starts with, are you willing to bet on you? And not give up on you. I started off earlier talking about playing the lottery and how I haven't won. But if you notice what I said I haven't won yet. Because even though I lose, guess what I go back and do? The lottery goes up to 300 or 400 million again. I take my $20, I go right back to a gas station and I plop it down on me. And I start dreaming of what I'm going to do with the money when I win. And some people go, but Chris, the last time you did that, you didn't win. So, what I got two choices. Give up or stay in the game. I'm going to always stay in the game. Right? I'm going to always get rich or die trying was 50 Cent's song and movie. See, I always said I'm in or I'm going to die trying. And guess what I found? I'm happy. And I've always been happier in pursuit of my goals and dreams more than hitting them. See, the fact that I wake up every day and have a chance to go after them. Do you know how many people don't even go after them? You know how many people wake up every day and just go to a job that they know is not going to get them where they want, to get a paycheck that they know is not enough to pay their bills, and yet they do that day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, knowing it's not going to improve their situation. But they dare not dream of something better. They dare not go for something more. They dare not, because they don't want to hurt their own feelings if they fail. So they accept mediocrity. They accept average and ordinary. They accept it. In life with nothing. See, I can't imagine. I'm so thankful that I went into business for myself at 19. And that I believed in myself enough to go for it, that I've never had to live that existence. I've never had a job. I've never punched a clock. I've never done a resume. I've never been on an interview. I've never been laid off or downsized or fired. I've never experienced any of those things. I have no idea why people get up when it's still dark to go to a job that they don't like, with people they don't like, for money they can't live off, and come back home when it's dark. They miss every inch of sunlight. for something they know doesn't work. See, I get up the way I was born to get up, running. I was born to get up and run for my goals and dreams every single day of my life. And on the days that I'm lying, I just sit up under a tree and look out over all that I survey. I just look out over the beautiful country that God has built for me to live in. See, and I enjoy it. And when I get hungry again, I start running. That only happens if you make a decision. That's how you're going to live. And so, as I begin to wrap up, here's some tips. Here's some things to put in your mind. First thing you need to do, and first of all, let me say this, because I don't want people to feel like this is a major issue. Congratulations to the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of you who've already activated and upgraded. We've been in this position for 3 days, and we've exceeded our expectation of how fast some of you have already activated and you're already running. Congratulations. I applaud you. You're ready to go. Let's make this thing happen and let's take it to the next level. And so this last part, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to y'all who are ready to run. I'm talking to you who made the decision. I've already talked to the people that are sitting on the fence. For those of you who made the decision, you got to get a leadership mindset if you want to succeed. See, you got to control the. And everybody has one in them that has the ability to. But you have to control that. That space between your two ears is the first thing you got to gain control of. See, the second thing is you got to become obsessed with goal setting. You got to set goals every month. Make sure that I hope you set your goals for the year when the year started off for New Year's. Now you break those goals down into monthly, and then every month you make sure you set and adjust your goals to achieve your objectives. Make sure there's an income goal in there. It amazes me sometimes that people are in business, but yet they don't say how much money they want to make. They just say, I want to make money, I want to make a lot. No, put a number down. See, my whole career, I started out saying I have to make $5,000 a month. $5,000 a month. I knew exactly what I needed to do to make $5,000 a month. I knew at $5,000 a month I could pay for my place. I could pay for my car. I could pay. At $5,000 a month was my magic number, and I always wanted to make $5,000 a month. And so when I started my career, it was all about $5,000 a month. And then as I started to make $5,000 a month, then it became $5,000 a week. But I always had a goal. And people say, man, you've spent 30 years with 2 companies, and how come nobody ever recruited you? That was the number one reason I never lost focus. I'll tell you a little secret. I knew exactly what I needed to do to make $5,000 a month. Every time came to me with a new idea, a new product, a new company, a new business opportunity. What I need to do to make $5,000 a month. You know what I found? 90% of them had no idea. They couldn't even write it down. Was so astronomical, nobody could ever achieve it. So nobody could ever trick me with, oh, my opportunity is great. Oh, this is going to be the next best thing. Okay, so write down what I need to do. And by the time they wrote down, if it was a product, I need to sell more product than Walmart sold. How am I supposed to sell more than Walmart sells? Because that's what you're saying I need to do to make $5,000 a month. So I knew it wasn't realistic. If it was a service, then I would say, okay, show me exactly. And most of them had no idea. It would require so much I had to do. See, in the company I was in, I personally knew what I needed to do to make $5,000 a month. Personally, whether I built a team, whether I knew exactly what I need, I knew exactly how many life insurance sales I needed to make $5,000 a month. And that's why I never wavered. 20 years at that company. Because for 20 years, not one person ever showed me how to make $5,000 a month somewhere else. So make sure you got an income goal in place. Third thing, you got to have a merger with your upline. See, credibility is the only ability you can't give yourself. You can't give yourself credibility. You can't make people believe in you. You can't make people trust you. You can't make people you need credibility. And your upline's purpose, listen to me, more than anything else, is to give you credibility. So have a merger with your upline where you can take people and introduce them to your upline, and then your upline will tell them how great you are and how much of an incredible leader you are and why they should follow you. And now those people will listen to what your upline said, but they wouldn't listen if you said, I'm a great leader, I'm incredible, you should follow me. You can't give yourself credibility. Immediately that would turn most people off. So you need a relationship where you edify your upline, and then when you introduce them to your upline edifies you and gives you the credibility that makes people follow you the direction you're going. And people aren't going to follow your direction, they're going to follow the direction of the people you're following. You know, you think about church, and a lot of people really like their pastors and the leaders in their church. But if those leaders wasn't God or Jesus Christ in the direction, most people wouldn't be listening to them at all. Nobody's there to follow them. They're there to find out more about the path of Jesus Christ and that leads to the Father. They want to see, people aren't here to follow you. They're here to learn from you the path to financial freedom and wealth and a legacy for their children today. See, if you're not following a path that has a proven track record, nobody's going to follow you. So you got to have a merger with your upline. Now, I'm not saying you got to be in love with your upline. You got to have a merger with your upline. It amazes me how some of you work with people you don't like all day. Some of you have bosses you can't stand all day, but you're able to be cordial and work. And then you come into an environment where you're the boss and you have your own business and you're fighting with each other. Really? So you can't be cordial and work together in your own environment, but you could do it for the little bit of money that your job pays you? Oh, we need to shift our priorities. See, number 4, you got to live life right, guys. You got to live right. If people are going to follow you, you got to live your life as an example. You got to understand the difference between fault and responsibility. So many of you are blaming so many other things and when the reality is, but it's your responsibility for your life. See, it don't matter whose fault it is. It may be my father's fault that I had to grow up without a dad, but it is my responsibility to still figure out how to be a great man. I can't go through life screwing up, going, well, how am I supposed to know how to be a man? My father wasn't around. Might be his fault he wasn't around, but it's not his responsibility for what type of man I am. It's my responsibility to figure out how to be a man. See, you got to live your life understanding that fault has nothing to do with how you turn out. It's responsibility. So live your life right and be responsible for your results and for the outcome. Number 5, huge in being a great leader, save money. See, when you save your money, you have options. See, life is a roller coaster. There's going to be goods and bad, ups and downs. There's going to be great years and you're going to have some bad years. There's going to be great months you make a ton of money and you're going to have some bad months. That's life. But guess what I found? If you want it to be smooth, that when times are down, you still can pay your bills, and when times are up, you still save more money. The key to that is a simple concept called save money. Just that simple. I remember when the industry was rocky and companies were rocky and people were going, Chris, what are you going to do? Well, I saved my money. I'm going to go home and sit on the porch. And they look at me like, really? You could just go, yeah. Because for years, I lived at 30% of what I made. I was saving 70% of my income. I had a great lifestyle, but that lifestyle was only 30%. And so because of that 30% and saving 70, never had to worry. Retired at 37 years old. Was retired for 4 years, traveled to 60 or 70 different countries. Just why? 30%. So make sure you save money. Number 6, you got to live your life in day-tight compartments. What do I mean by that? Guys, the past does not equal the future. And it doesn't matter how long ago the past was or how recent the past was. You can't change the past. So stop carrying over into the next day the things you didn't like about or the mistakes you made the day before. And not only that, even the victories the day before don't ensure a victory tomorrow. So celebrate briefly and move on. See, every day is a day-tight compartment. Some of you are carrying around hurt and pain and distractions that are so old, they actually have no relevance to your success or not. You do not have the power to change. See, if you take your finger and touch your nose, like I just did, now untouch it. You can't. See, I've already touched it. You've already seen me touch it. I can't undo it. I can't make you unsee it. I can't change the past. Even though that's only 30 seconds in the past, it's 30 seconds I no longer own. So I can't worry about it. I can't worry about who saw me touch my nose, who think I was crazy for touching my nose, who think that didn't make sense. I can't worry about none of that. It's done. I did it. I said it. It's over. Compartments. That's how you stay on top of your game and you don't let the past dictate your future. Number 7, focus on developing leaders. Help other people win. Life gives you what you give. If you want to be financially free, then help other people become financially free. Focus on developing other leaders if you want to be a great leader. Give what you want. It's the key to success. Hey, number 8, be a competitor. See, you got to be a competitor. If there's a contest, you should want to win it. You know, my mentor, Coach Tomer, who this is his birthday, so happy birthday, Coach. And I wish you many, many, many more. Love you. You changed my life. I wouldn't have half of what I have if you had not stepped into my life and showed me some things that I know nothing about. So I thank you for that. But I would ride in the car with Coach. And I didn't know we were racing other people while we were in the car. Those people didn't know they were in a race. But Coach is so competitive that if he's not driving, he's counting how many cars are passing us. And at some point he's going to say to you, so are you trying to be the slowest car on the highway? I mean, like 8 cars just passed us. Like, what's going on? And before you know it, you're trying not to let cars pass you. You be pulling up to a light, and that light be getting ready to turn red, and he look at you like you're gonna actually get stuck at a red light. Because if there wasn't a car in front of you, there's no reason you should get stuck at a red light. Now, if you're behind a couple of cars, there's nothing you can do about it. But if you're the first car that it's about, why? How in the world do you get stuck? I mean, and I remember this stuff, and I would laugh because he was just so competitive. It was in his blood. There wasn't even a competition going on, and he created one. In his mind, we were in a race. Even though we weren't going nowhere, we had to be in a hurry. It's just in his bones. He was a competitor. There was just no way you were going to have some kind of competition that he wasn't going to win. And see, I came up through my career with that. If there's a chance to go on a free trip, I'm going. If there's, see, some of you don't even think about, oh, they got a contest for a free trip. I'm not going to compete. I don't really care. It ain't about whether you want to go on a trip or if it's someplace you want to go. It's about winning. See, until you get yourself used to winning, you ain't going to win. Until you start getting absolutely crazy about being successful and winning, you ain't going to win. I don't care what it is. Be a contest for a piece of bubble gum. I watch people who make millions a year fight to win t-shirts. Because it didn't matter what it was. What mattered, they better say my daggum name. I'm not sitting in the audience just clapping for other people. They're going to say my name. You got to be a competitor. You got to make sure that if they're calling out names, yours is on the list. Number 9, probably the most important thing you're ever going to learn. Hey, look, negatives up and positives all around. If you've got a problem, you make sure you bring that problem to the person who brought you into business. And if they can't solve it, then take it to the director. And if the director can't solve it, take it to your next upline director until it gets to me or Scott. And I promise you, by the time it gets to us, it'll get solved. But on the way, don't tell your sideline partner, your friend, don't tell the people you brought in. See, you create a bigger problem that once we fix the problem, we can't solve the issue because you spread that negativity too far. You've already spread that cancer to too many different parts of the body. See, if you start off with a cancer in your pancreas, and we probably could have operated and removed it, but because you shared your sideline partner and another director, now the cancer is all throughout the body of your success, and we can't remove all those places, and so now your business dies of the cancer. Guys, negatives up in one single line. Positives to the left, positives to the right. Positives down. See, it's kind of like with relationships. You know, people always say, don't discuss your relationship with your friends and your family. And a lot of reasons they say that is because, see, your spouse may do something that you don't like. And then you'll tell your brother and sister or your parents or your best friend about it. And then you forgive your spouse and you guys work it out. And then they never like that person again and they never forgive them. And now you've created a hostile environment for your relationship because although you've forgiven and you guys have moved on and you're trying to have a loving relationship that includes your family all hates the person because you told them the person did that you were able to forgive. And you can't control how they feel. You can't make them forgive. You can't make them unhear what you told them. You can't make them feel a different way. You've lost control of the situation because you shared it. See, that's the same thing you're doing in your business. Negatives up to the people who can fix it. Positives all around. Oh, I need to vent. Vent up. Oh, I was so angry. Up. The 10th and last principle, and I'll end with this: thinking, grow, rich. See, think it and grow it. See, if you think and grow, look forward to seeing you next time. Go out and build something big. If you haven't activated, activate. If you haven't upgraded, upgrade. Everybody else, let's go recruit an army of people to help us heal the nation with vacation. Have a great day.